Hey y'all, this is Marley K. Hope y'all are well. This is a very interesting development. Ron DeSantis has exited the presidential race and endorsed Colt 45. So this sets up another Paw Colt 45 face off for 2024. The stage is set for civil unrest because of all the things that are going on with the former vice president. I'm sorry, the former president, all his legal stuff. So people are starting to feel like they are um, unfairly targeting him for things that other presidents have done and their spouses, and they've never been charged in this manner. People are starting to wake up and see what is actually happening. Now, I will say, I don't believe that any of this is by accident. I think this is all by design. This is a part of the gradual demolition of the state, of the United States. This is the chaos that is needed to bring the order that they want. If you haven't seen the video I did about the World Police Summit, I feel like this is going to be one of those situations where they are able to introduce the world police to the world, because America is just going to be in shambles. Excuse me, between the the election shenanigans, um, the racial divisions, the social divisions, inequity, a collapsing economy, scarcity created by them, but scarcity in supplies, scarcity in medication, scarcity in food. People are already talking about they're unable to get essential medications, like for diabetes and high blood pressure and other chronic illnesses. So there is going to be a lot of things uh, piling on as the year goes on. But I feel like this is something big that we really need to pay attention to because it plays into this whole civil unrest, red state versus blue state, Republican versus Democrat. It's always got to be two. Um, and so that's also how a lot of this chaos is orchestrated, because we could have way more choices and people would probably be happier, but because this society keeps us with this two party, two system, two tier, two everything. You only got one or the other, and when both are bad, you really don't have a choice. But for the ignorant and those who are asleep, they feel like one is better than the other because they don't really take the time to investigate that neither party, neither anything is going to be good for our best interest, because the powers have a totally different agenda, and they use these just two simple sides to pit us against each other. So this says Florida Governor Ron DeSantis ended his 2024 presidential campaign Sunday and endorsed former President Trump. And they had to, because this man ain't even running. He don't go to no debates. He don't do nothing. He don't campaign. He just going to court and cussing the judges out and doing his appeals. And he's still winning the primary races. He's not doing anything basically. And so none of these other candidates got any traction. Now, I will say, I don't think Colt 45 is a good person. I don't think he has our best interest. I think uh, he is playing for a different team, but a team no less. And I think whoever they attach him to, or whoever they align him with as the vice president, I think is no matter who he picks, it's probably either going to be Nikki Haley, which I doubt seriously, because the man got all kinds of challenges with women. He don't really care for women in that sense. So I can't see him picking her. I say Ron DeSantis. That's who I say. Um, just because of his background. He is Jesuit trained and Khazar aligned, Khazar funded, and he comes from a state with a lot of connections to that community. He's been to Israel. So if I had to pick anybody, I would say these two are going to be on a ticket together, which says to me, we in trouble. So I predicted this a long time ago, and I'll have to go back. I'll go back through my Medium post and just tell you this is what I've always thought. So if it comes to be this is I saw this a long time ago. Um, DeSantis was auditioning to be uh, president or vice president years ago. So it says why this matters. DeSantis entered the 2024 campaign widely viewed as Trump's most formidable opponent, but early missteps and strategic errors hampered his effort. DeSantis' announcement will give Trump an added boost ahead of the New Hampshire primary contest, where he is looking to effectively end the GOP primary with a large win over former United Nations Ambassador Nikki Haley. DeSantis campaigned aggressively in Iowa, but came in second behind Trump by about 30 percentage points. Driving the news in a straight-to-camera 4-minute video message on X, DeSantis said the following: his second place said that his follow. I'm sorry. DeSantis said that following his second place finish in Iowa, it is clear to me that a majority of Republican Party voters want to give Donald Trump another chance. While I have had disagreements with Donald Trump, Trump is superior to the current incumbent, Joe Biden. That is clear. DeSantis also jabbed Haley on his way, I guess, out of the race, saying that Trump has my endorsement because we can't go back to the old Republican guard of yesteryear, a repackaged form of warmed over corporatism that Nikki Haley represents. After hearing about his exit, Haley told voters in New Hampshire that we wish him well, having said that it's now one fella and one lady left. We're not a country of coronations, Haley also said in a statement on Sunday. Voters deserve a say in whether we go down the road of Trump and Biden again or we go down a new conservative road. What they're saying. The Trump campaign said in a statement on Sunday that the former president is honored by DeSantis' endorsement. It is now time for all Republicans to rally behind President Trump to defeat crooked Joe Biden and end his disastrous presidency, the campaign said. The Trump campaign also again took aim at Haley as the candidate of globalists and Democrats. The big picture is DeSantis launched his presidential campaign in May, but he had been laying the groundwork before then, highlighting his legislative accomplishments in Florida that related to his anti-woke agenda. I think this is where he ran into a problem. He did too much, trying to prove that he was anti-black. We know you're anti-black. You don't have to do all that. But they got a peacock for their fan base, and so I think he just did too much. And he just wasn't polished. He just was I don't know. I can't exactly say what he is, having lived in Florida and him been my governor. He just was not polished. He was kind of dorky and I don't know, overly combative for no reason sometimes. Like he had a Napoleon syndrome. I guess that's the best way I can put it. So, in any event, um, I think that um, there's something very interesting happening. Also, this is another story that came up that I paid attention to. So I'm not sure when this story came out. Because it doesn't have, oh, it says November. So it says the head of DeSantis' PAC resigns as internal tensions explode. So his campaign just had a whole lot of other things going on. And um, he couldn't raise money, for one thing, because he just wasn't, he didn't have the traction that some of the other candidates did. Like, nobody has the traction that Trump has, or the appeal. So while Trump has the appeal, DeSantis is the person to watch out for, because he's the one that's going to usher in all these different agendas. He's, again, a part of the hidden powers. He's been trained, he's gone to their schools. You have to go look up his background. You can do it on Wikipedia, but if you start looking, you'll start seeing the connections. There are certain types of people that they want, and certain types of people that they will allow to be in front of you so that you can become comfortable with them. Sometimes they make them feel like, make us believe that they're underdogs. Sometimes they make us feel like they are champions, but they all are puppets. They have a job to do, and once they do their job, they are rewarded. So we can't get caught up in any of this politics stuff. If there's one thing I'm gonna teach y'all about this year, is politics is a bunch of doo doo. Just check out of it. What you need to be doing is crying out to the creator, because what's coming, no politician is going to be able to save us from. In fact, they are the people that created the issues. But we need to pay attention to this ticket, because with Trump at the top of a ticket and him being crucified, and I hate to use the term crucified, but the way that they are going after him is really got people feeling as though he is an underdog and that they are picking at him for no reason, and people are going to go with the underdog because that's just the nature of people. And so it's going to be real ugly getting close to November, but I honestly don't believe we're going to have a November election. I believe these people are going to um, attack this man until the very end. Everybody's dropping out of the race, so there's nobody but him to vote for. So if they decide that he can't run as president in some states, it's going to be a problem. So just pay attention to these little um, setups that are happening, where he's having to go to challenge all these. Excuse me if you hear that noise. I'm sitting close to a window, and I have my window cracked a little bit so I can get some fresh air. So that's why um, you hear the cars driving by. But if you see the setups in these states and these state challenges, where he's having to go to these different states and appeal to be on the ballot for the primary, if you don't have to compete, it doesn't matter. He just has to worry about the general election. So something is happening behind the scenes, making us think that the system is against him. But the really, really and truly, the system is against all of us, and they're putting these two old white men against each other so that we can be at each other's throats, creating another division, and a distraction while they do all the other stuff that they want to do. So don't be distracted by any of this. Just understand it is just another, it's like a little mini movie in a big movie. It's a scene in a big movie. And these are just actors. Everybody is acting and they're doing their part. We are just watching a movie. So With that said, y'all get your power tools, your Snicker bars, get all your things that you need to protect yourselves. You should, again, be trying to do as little as you can out in the streets. And when things go awry, um, you should be out and about with a heightened awareness. I'll say that. You should not just be out and about acting like it's 2014, because it's not, or 2006. It's not. These are different times. People are different. People are wicked. People are angry. People are stressed, tired, poor, struggling, losing things. And y'all know the snow people, the children of the corn, they don't handle this type of stuff well. So we as in African American Black people, we have to be on our P's and Q's. We're always public enemy number one. We are targeted by everybody in different ways, and so we have to really just be aware of our surroundings, understand the times that we're living in, and continue to pray for protection and to be found worthy to escape all of what's coming, because there's a lot of stuff happening really quickly. And I mean, like I said, I can't even hardly get these stories out because so much stuff is happening. So y'all just pay attention, keep watch, sound the alarm, sound your trumpets, but keep watch. You cannot afford to look away. You cannot afford to take a break. You cannot afford to not know what is coming, because it's going to impact you. It's going to impact all of us. So there is no sense in acting as if it's not coming and if it's not happening. Don't be that person. Don't be those people. All right, y'all. This is Marla K, and I'm out.